So welcome to chair yoga. And I know Josh is on a long trip to Japan, so we're going to do how to do yoga in the aeroplane. And I know Anne's a bit of a world traveler as well, so she might like some of these tips for traveling. So one of the key times I find to do chair yoga traveling is right at the beginning, just after takeoff. And I find that initial time to get the body moving just after takeoff can be very helpful to start your journey. And that includes some breath work, because the breath work in the airplane can be challenging, especially when it used to be everybody could light up a cigarette in the back of the plane and then all you could smell was the fumes of the cigarettes. And now with the COVID, of course, you might be wearing a mask on the flight, I'm not sure. And I like to think of giving yourself this sense of permission to fidget, to allow your body to move in different ways. And those ways can be subtle, and they can be more overt, more obvious. So getting that sense of being able to fidget while you're on an airplane can really allow the body to stay looser so that when you arrive you feel more refreshed. So we'll go through some of the routines I use in the airplane for travel. Now, one of the hardest things on an airplane seat is the seat itself. It tends to slope back and you tend to be in a crammed little area. So as much as possible, bring your back away from the back of the chair. So you're forcing yourself to sit up tall. And then start to rock from sit bone to sit bone. And then grab the pelvis for a moment and Rolodex it forward, create a little back bend, a little low back arching, and then rock the other way so you feel a little low back rolling. So this is going to be the most compressed part of the body during the flight, is the low back and the hip area. Everything's going to sink down into this little bend. So your legs, your thighs create this 90-degree angle with the hips. So as much as possible, you want to find that lumbar spine perpendicular to your seat and lift up through the waist. So you're fighting that gravitational pull downwards. Let the shoulders roll up, back, and down. So the next major culprit on a long flight is going to be the forward hunching of the shoulders, the lowering of the head to look at your screen in front of you. So really work on keeping that chest open, waist lifted, shoulders back and down, palms face up on the legs. This can also be a great posture if you meditate. Let the eyes become soft or closed. And just become aware of the sensations you'd be feeling in an airplane. There'd be the sounds of the plane itself. There'll be the sounds of the speakers, people speaking, people moving about the cabin. So when you close your eyes, you start to conserve your energy. So it's important to conserve your energy because it's going to be a long flight. And then tune into your breathing. So sometimes you'll have a mask on, maybe sometimes you won't, I'm not sure. And simply become aware of the sensations of breath. Noting when you're breathing behind a mask, there'll be a sense of warm, moist exhale, cool, dry inhale. So that will become a rhythm. So for now, just notice the rhythm of your breathing. Notice the breath in. Notice the breath out. And one of the ways that I've found making breathing behind a mask more pleasurable is to simply inhale through the nose and gently exhale through pursed lips. So feel this rhythm, inhaling through the nose if you can, exhaling through pursed lips. And spend as much time and energy as you can focusing on the breathing, especially during takeoff and those early parts of the flight, when there's a lot of movement, a lot of changes. You might start to notice the changes in ear pressure in the ears. The body feels a lot of changes. As you exhale, start to focus on the belly, not so much the moisture and warmth of the air around the face. Start to feel the belly moving with each breath. So as you exhale, gently squeeze the navel back towards the spine. Pull the navel back. Feel that contraction, that flattening of the belly. Relax the belly to inhale. So you start to bring your attention down to the navel, to the belly. And this in yoga is considered to be the midpoint of the yoga anatomy. That area just 2 inches behind the navel and below. So start to feel this area of the body creating a little diaphragmatic pumping action. Squeeze empty. Use that muscular contraction, the strength of your core. Relax the belly to inhale. So you bring all your attention inwards, and this starts to conserve and build energy. And I recommend, at least in the beginning of the flight, try to spend about half an hour doing this kind of breathing. I find it makes a huge difference right at the beginning. Get it out of the way. Squeeze empty. Then let the breath start to get a little deeper. So slowly building up, belly expands, and then ribs expand. Exhale, squeeze empty. Belly expands, ribs expand, collarbones lift and widen. And feel that expansion and contraction of the breath. Notice how the whole spine starts to move. Feeling the lungs at the beginning of the journey. Take 3 more breaths like this. And then on that third breath, Just allow the eyes to open. Let your shoulders roll up, back and down, just giving the shoulders a little movement. The second breath technique that I'm going to recommend you do is a cleansing breath technique. It's what's called in yoga a kriya, a cleansing. And once again, I'm recommending this. I did this my last long trip to Australia, and I found that it really, really helped me with my energy through the trip and my sense of alertness at the end of the trip. So I had a lot less jet lag than I expected. Now I must admit I did this for an hour, and I'm only recommending that you do it intermittently through the trip because it's a vigorous type of breathing exercise. The only reason you wouldn't do it is if you've had stomach surgery, if you have constipation, or if you're pregnant. Right. And the breath exercise, if you bring your hand to your belly, is simply a very sharp expulsion through the nose, as if something got up your nose and you're just blowing it out of the nose, and it goes like this. So the belly contracts in quickly, creating a forceful expulsion through the nostrils. Now on that first one, if you feel mucus or anything in the nostrils that are blocking up, you can grab a tissue and clean out the nostrils. And this breath is called Kapalabhati, skull polishing breath. And the reason it is called skull polishing breath is often you can feel very heated in the head when you do it. You might feel like you've just had a little polishing effect. You might feel lightheaded. And if you do, you can always come back to the normal breath. So each expulsion is a sharp contraction through the belly. The inhale will happen naturally. There's no need to force the inhale. So if you did 10 to 20 consecutively, it would sound and look like this. Taking a deep breath in and beginning. Exhale, release. And that creates a nice cleansing effect. It creates a little energizing. It's a very energizing breath, and it will give you a nice wake up. And like I said, I would recommend you do it intermittently through the trip, especially at the beginning. Maybe after each stop if you have changeovers. Maybe you could do it at the airport, etc. Again, it's probably one of those breaths you don't want to do right next to a person who's going to be upset. All right, so it's going to be a very powerful breath. And practicing with your mask on is a really nice way to do it because it gives you that sense of how do I get used to breathing with that mask on. And it is something that as I've worn a mask more and more at work, you can get used to simply by noticing the breath, noticing especially the rhythm between the warm exhale and the cooler inhale. So let's all try that together. Take a deeper breath in, and we'll do 20 Kapalabhatis. Inhale and begin. Three, two, one, and take a deep breath in. Exhale, release. Close the eyes. And just allow your breathing to become natural. And feel the effects of Kapalabhati. So sometimes during today's practice, I'm going to encourage you to try some Kapalabhati in different shapes, just to feel it. So moving the spine in 6 different directions will be your next task on a long flight. The one that I like to do most is clasp the hands together like this, fingers clasped together. Now inhale, and as you exhale, push the palms up towards the roof of the plane, reach up, pushing those palms up. So that creates a nice back bend. You can lift the head up if that feels comfortable, or you can keep the chin in neutral. And take 3 or 4 breaths in that back bend. And that's usually easier than trying to bring the hands around behind you on a seat that's usually very tight to the back. But this is very doable. Exhale, release. And the next one's not so easy. You've usually got your table down, so you'll need to put your table up. And if you have one of those little pillows, try and bring a little pillow in front of you like this and just drop the head down towards the pillow. You might find the top of the head starts to press against the screen. You can bring the pillow between the screen of the backrest of the chair in front, so you get that nice rounding. Let the shoulders come forward, shoulder blades apart, and feel that release in the low back. It's very rare, unless you have an aisle seat, where you could open the knees nice and wide and come down into that full expression of a forward bend. If you do have that aisle seat where you can have plenty of room, that would be the recommended, coming all the way down. So let's try those two a few more times. Inhale, clasp the fingers. Exhale, press up. Big push up. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. Head can lift or remain neutral. Push up a little higher. And then exhale, let the head come forward, scrunch the shoulders forward, and really round the back. Two or three breaths here. Exhale, release. And if you happen to have a seat vacant next to you, you can bring the armrest down and rest your arm against the armrest like this. Lean towards that side and bring the hand over into the lateral flexion of the spine. Of course, we're on chairs here, so we might hold the chair leg down and bring that right ear down towards the shoulder, opening up the left rib cage. And this is a great way to strengthen the core as well, as you can feel. If you're leaning against that armrest, every now and then lift the arm up a fraction of an inch so you really feel your core having to work and you're not just dependent on that arm holding you in place. Inhale, come up. Exhale, relax. Now the other side, you might have the window right next to you, so it mightn't be as easy. You come over as far as you can. Drop that left ear down. Bring that opposite arm up and over. You can curve it, or you can straighten it. 2 different effects. And once again, you'll find it's more challenging to breathe in this position. But when it's more challenging to breathe, the good news is you're strengthening the breathing muscles. Resist the temptation to drop the chin towards the chest so you really feel this in the side of the neck. Inhale, come up. Close the eyes for a moment and start to notice how your body feels different already from those first few movements. Let's try that once again on each side. So I'm less in a flowing state on an airplane. I'm more in a static hold. Bring that right ear down, chin away from the chest. Lean towards that right side. Left hand comes up and over The more you stretch through that left hand and push back with that left hip, the more you'll feel that in the rib cage. There is a tendency the chin wants to keep coming down, so every now and then just lift it away from the chest. Inhale, come up. Exhale, the other side. Big stretch over. Good. Excellent. Exhale, release. So there we are. We've knocked 4 directions of the spine out of the ballpark. We've got 2 more. And again, you might have your seat belt on. That's fine for this. If it's too tight, you might have to loosen it a little bit so that you can actually bring your right shoulder back and that left hip forward. If the seat belt's too tight, you might have to unloosen it so you can get that left hip forward or remove it. So bring that right shoulder back, grab the back of your pants if you can, otherwise just bring your hand against the back of the seat. Left hand grabs that right leg and holding yourself in the twist. Shoulders roll back and down, ribs are lifted so you're sitting up tall. Keep the chin away from the chest. And here's another time to really tune into your breathing. So firstly, notice the rhythm of the warm exhale, the cool inhale behind the mask. And now bring your attention down into the belly. So you've been working the belly quite a bit today with the Kapalabhati already. Let's see if you can create that strong exhale, draw the navel in, relax the belly to inhale. So it's going to be a lot more challenging in a twist because the muscles are tied up. But once again, that challenge is going to strengthen your breathing muscles, which is what you want, not just for now, but also as you age. Now, holding that thoracic twist, we're going to add the cervical twist. So next time you exhale, turn the head to that left shoulder. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, the head to the right shoulder. And continue swiveling the head left and right, synchronizing it with your breathing. So each time you inhale, the chin comes back over the chest. And as you exhale, it rotates. And the neck can get very, very stiff on a long flight. So the more you swivel the head during the flight at different times, the more you'll help prevent that stiffening up. The next time you come to neutral, release the hands, unwind the body, and just notice how much we've accomplished in opening up the body with these few movements and breath work, all in this very confined space. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring that left shoulder back. Wrap that left hand behind you. You can tuck it into the waistline of your pants if you can. Right hand to that left leg. Hold the thoracic twist. Close the eyes and focus on the breath behind the mask. Warm exhale, cool inhale. Bring your attention down into the belly. Start to feel the stomach gently pumping down there, keeping the breath nice and deep. So you really want efficient exchange of oxygen in the lungs And breathing in and out of the nose with this deep diaphragmatic breathing is really, really ideal. Now start to add the cervical twist. Each time you exhale, turning the head one direction or the other. Each time you inhale, bringing the head back to neutral over the chest. Good. Exhale, release, unwind, and just notice. Now, what's a lot more challenging in an airplane is the use of the lower body, unless you get out of your chair, which I'm going to recommend you do as much as you can. But to start with, just simply start by lifting the heels up as high as you can. So you feel that in the calf muscles. So now our attention is right down in the toes, the ball of the foot, lifting up the heels as high as you can, feeling the contraction in the calf muscles. Now drop the heels and walk your feet a little bit further forward and lift the toes up. You're not going to have a lot of room here, but use as much room as you can, alternating between those two movements. Lift the heels, drop the heels, lift the toes. So start to work that ankle joint through dorsiflexion, toes back towards the shin, spread the toes out. If you can take your shoes off during the flight, that would be even better. Exhale, pressing down with the balls of the foot, lifting the heels up. Simply moving between those two directions. So once again, if the tray is stopping your knees lifting up, just fold the tray up if you can. Now let's synchronize the breathing with this movement. So it's not just a mechanical lifting and lowering, but you're going to tie the breath in with the movement. Experiment with the breath. Let's experiment by exhaling, lift the toes up, pull the navel in. Inhale, lift the heels up, lift the chin up, open the chest, so you feel the breath moving right through the body with the movement of the foot. Inhale, lift the heels, shoulders back, lift the chin, feel the back arch. Exhale, drop the heels, lift the toes, drop the chin down, rounding the back, pull the navel in. So you've got a lot of attention now through the whole body as you lift the toes, round the back, drop the chin, pull the navel in. As you lift the heels, shoulders back, open up the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades, moving between those two movements. So it's like you're doing cat and cow, initiated by the movement of the ankle and foot. So your whole body starts to get involved in using the movement of the ankle and foot to create a cat and cow, synchronizing with your breathing. So the spine is really getting a good workout while you do that. Now the next one is to simply try and straighten the legs out. You'll be pushing your feet right under the chair in front of you. grab hold of your seat or the sides, and then push out through the heels and roll the toes back towards the shin. So now you're getting the calf muscles stretch, you're getting a hamstring stretch. Now open the chest out and squeeze the shoulder blades. So you're getting a big back bend, you're getting a big back stretch in the back of the legs, and you're really curling those toes back, spreading the toes out, feeling the stretch, which the back of the legs really needs a big stretch as you fly. Exhale, release, bring the feet back. Now getting up and out of a very tight space in an airplane, once again, if you've got the spaciousness near the exit door, it makes it easier. So how do we get out? Because we're kind of slumped backwards. They slope the seats backwards in the chest, so it's kind of really hard to get in and out. So this time you're going to do more of a twist, where you need to twist and support. So just bring your hands around to the side so you feel that twist. So you've got your right hand and left hand, and you feel that twist on one side. So you feel your core strength, and then come to the other side. Keep the elbows close to the ribs. Come back to that right side, and then move your right knee out as if we were coming into Warrior One on the chair. So the right knee comes out, so you open up the hips, and then come to the other side. Right knee comes back, come into your twist, left knee comes out, let's try that back to the original side. Left knee back, right knee opens, come into the twist. Now, feel the strength in your left leg and just push yourself a little bit forward, like an inch, like you're trying to stand up with that twist. Feel that push with that back leg. Hands are supporting you on the chair rest. You're in that twist. Feel how strong that back leg is. So your back leg needs to do the thrust. Exhale, come back. Let's try that other side. So even what we're doing now without standing up is a great exercise. It's a great leg strengthener. Press into that right foot, lean forward, feel your quadriceps engage. Your hips are opening. And come back to center. So now we're going to come all the way up. Normally in chair yoga, let's do a normal chair yoga stand up so we feel it. Sit towards the edge of the chair. Gently lean forward and make sure your knees are right in line with the top of the toes. So the feet are, if you look sideways, I'll turn sideways so you can see I'm not at a nice 90-degree angle. I've got a little acute angle between the thighs and the calf muscles. In other words, my knees come a little bit past the toes so that when I come up, I can hold that squat off the chair and then slowly come down. So you feel the strength of your legs. Now this won't be an experience you'll be able to do in the airplane because you'll bang your head against the chair in front of you. But let's just practice it here so we get the feeling of hinging forward, lifting up just a little bit so it's a low squat, and then sit down without plopping. Oh, there's a workout for your legs. All right. Exhale, come forward, lift up an inch or two, feel the squat, come down without plopping. So you're strengthening these leg muscles. Let's come forward, lift up, and then totally stand up. So when you stand up in the aeroplane, in the aisle of the aeroplane, really stand up strongly. Push down through the heels, lift the arches of your feet, push the hips forward a little bit so there's a forward tilt as if you're squeezing a block. Roll the shoulders back and down, palms face forward. Now push through the heels and lift the crown of the head as if you're trying to reach the head through the top of the airplane. So you have that nice, it's like you're stretching the back of the body after you've stood up after all that time sitting. And then you might walk down to the bathroom or whatever, down the aisle and have a little walk. When you walk, it's a good idea to try and walk with high knees or butt kicks. So you really stretch, so you let the knees get some relief. High knees, butt kicks. So one of my favorite spots on the airplane is outside the bathrooms, and I just try to find something where there's a chair or something that I can hold onto, and I just do my high knees. I do my butt kicks. And the one thing I love to do is clasp the hands and push up. Usually you can touch the roof of the airplane, and it feels really, really great to stretch up and maybe do a little forward bend with the hips, just a little back bend like that. Exhale, release. So this is a great opportunity. Another thing that's nice to do is to simply open the legs out in a circle. So you get the hips, bring the circle the other way. And there's usually plenty of things to hold on to, whether it's the hostess's chair or the bulkhead, just the exit door. There's a little mound there. And then again, the same on the other side. You might just turn your back. Reverse direction. And then off you go to the bathroom. You freshen up a little bit. And then as you make your way back to your chair, you might want to take little longer steps that look like this. You'll be holding the back of the chair rest of somebody's chair. So you do little mini warriors just to get that nice stretch in the legs. Step back, step the next one forward. But you'd be marching forward slowly down the aisle, keeping that back leg strong, straight, front leg slightly bent. So by the time you get back to your chair, of course it's going to be awkward. You might have to step over somebody and blah, 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 do all your things. And then you're going to sit back into your chair. So doing that every hour or two is really going to be a big help on a long flight. Right? All those little movements. And even as you get back, you might want to pump the ankles up and down. Just feeling that movement of the ankle joint. And we're going to do that little pumping breath again, that Kapalabhati. But we'll do it a little differently. Usually when you do it, you're sitting up nice and tall and you're open. This whole belly area is experiencing. But what I've been practicing lately is to do it in a twist. So it's a whole different feeling when you come into your twist and do Kapalabhati. So what we'll do is Kapalabhati 20 times twisting to the right and then 20 times twisting to the left. So here we are in our chair once again. Take a deeper breath in. And as you exhale, come into your twist. Anchor your hands and feel the twist. So you don't want to overly twist, and you want to keep the head, the chin over the chest. So you're not twisting the neck, not hurting the neck. You're just holding that right shoulder back with the hands. So it's kind of a comfortable twist with a little bit of sensation. And you keep your good posture. Good. Close your eyes and start to notice your breathing. Firstly, notice the breath around the face, feeling the cool, dry inhale and the warm, moist exhale. Now bring your attention down to the belly, noticing that it's a little harder to breathe because of the twist. Take a 3/4 breath in and begin Kapalabhati with that little pumping. Three, two, one. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, release, and as you release, unwind, exhale, ha. Close the eyes. And notice those few unrestrained breaths, letting the body and the mind focus. So the Kapalabhati breathing is particularly powerful, I find, for keeping your energy alive, awake, refreshed. It's a cleansing breath, and goodness knows when we're in an aeroplane, there's so much worth cleansing. Inhale, sit up tall. As you exhale, anchor the hands to the left, holding you into that left side twist. Notice the breathing, firstly around the mouth and the mask. Bring your attention down into the belly area. And then preparing for Kapalabhati, take a 3/4 breath in and begin. Three, two, one, and take a deep breath in. Exhale, release the hands, allow yourself to slowly unwind and feel the effect of skull polishing breath. And then once again, bring the hands to the knees, round the back, feel the low back, mid back, and neck all round out and stretch. Really get into that low back. And we're going to go a little bit deeper. We have the luxury here. This might not be the luxury you have on an aeroplane. Bring the feet nice and wide. Charlie Chaplin feet, you can bring your hands down onto a block. Drop the head down so you feel this big deep stretch down through the low back. Keep the chin to the chest so you feel the neck relaxing. And then start to bend the elbows, and as you bend the elbows, start to feel the head come closer to the ground. Feel all the stretch sensations increase, including the hips. If your hands touch the ground easily, bring your hands to the ground. Keep letting the neck and shoulders relax. Keep the head dangling. Let the elbows relax even more until you feel the full weight of the body dangling forward. Straighten the arms. Keep the head down. Bring the hands to the block or the elbows to the thighs. Keep the head down. Keep the head down. Walk the hands back. Lean into your backrest. Keep the chin down. Bring the hands up and clasp the hands behind the head. And then start to open the elbows out. Feel the shoulder blades gently squeeze together. Let the chest open. And then exhale, release from behind the head. And walk the sit bones back towards the edge of the chair and sit up nice and straight. And notice how you feel. So another helpful thing to do on the airplane is simply meditate. So one way to meditate is to bring the thumb and the index finger together and rest the back of the hands on the thighs. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. And once again, having the mask on is a great way to meditate because there's so much sensation occurring behind the mask. And in particular, I want you to keep your attention floating and drifting between these few things. The first one is to be as still as you can. You want to pretend that you've become a stone statue, gently breathing, as if you've been frozen into this shape. You want to be so still that if you hear something come over the intercom, resist the temptation to open your eyes. If you hear people talking around you, resist the temptation to look around. You might even smell the fragrance of the food being delivered. So in that stillness, be determined, whether it's for 1 minute or 5 minutes or 20 minutes, to simply remain committed to being still. Be determined. Be unshakable. And the next quality that you want to embrace is to relax as much as you can. Relax those fingers that are touching each other. Relax the hands into your thighs. Just be aware that you're not squeezing the thumb into the index finger. There's a certain delicacy to the touch. And feel that relaxation move up through the arms, the elbows, the shoulders. Feel it move into the neck and throat. And feel it move into the jaw and the lips. Let the muscles and nerves in the jaw and the lips become relaxed, limp, loose, soft. And feel that relaxation move up into the face, the eyes. And imagine your whole body is surrounded by this warm, relaxing field that's relaxing the skin, the muscles, the bones, the organs, as if you're being relaxed in a warm bath. Feel the brain relax. Even if the brain is full of thoughts, the brain is busy, let that be okay. Let the thoughts come and go. Not trying to stop them. Just focusing on this relaxed stillness that you're generating. And then the last part of the meditation is to notice everything that's happening. Notice the sound and vibration of the airplane. Notice the breath as you inhale and exhale. Notice the sounds of people talking, the smell of food, simply paying attention to as many experiences and noticing that as you pay attention to them, they become real, they become present in your experience. And as your mind wanders off, the experiences seem to disappear. So bring your attention to the part of you that's noticing all the experiences. In meditation, we call this the witness consciousness. The part of you that notices everything. Resist the temptation to create a story about what you notice. Don't become the storyteller. Simply become the noticer, the witness, letting go of judgments, letting go of analysis. Just allow yourself to flow with the plane flying through the sky. And let that part of you that's simply noticing everything, let it dissolve, relax. Let it become part of your body, as if your whole body is simply a pure witnessing, noticing state. And when you're ready to come out of the meditation, take a deeper breath in. Keep your eyes closed for a little longer as you clasp the hands and stretch them above your head. And then gently bring them down and rock from side to side. Round the shoulders, drop the head, feel that stretch. And feel that ending of your meditation as part of the meditation itself. So you're still in this no man's land between meditation and interaction. So you give yourself plenty of time and space to gradually merge back into the life and community of the aeroplane. And ladies and gentlemen, we'll be landing the plane in 5 minutes. Secure your seatbelts. Exhale your hands together in prayer. Let the head bow in gratitude. Namaste. Thank you, folks. You can unmute yourself if you like.